Welcome to Gylee and Friends, the podcast where you hang out with game devs and hear about our pixelated shenanigans. I'm your host, Chris Bergman, founder and CEO of Gylee Games. Along with me, I have my wonderful co-host, senior producer at Gylee Games, Kim Edwards. Hello, Kim.
Hello, Chris.
How you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
It's a weird day.
Very weird day.
Yeah. We're doing it like in the afternoon, which is always kind of weird.
Yeah, and
it's usually in the
tomorrow's
evening.
like a day off for
Tomorrow's 4th of July.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's kind of a weird day.
Yeah, I love this energy.
This energy's great.
Bring it.
Yeah. Kim, we have a great guest today.
We do?
Yeah.
We do.
Can I tell you about him?
Please. I would love to know more about him.
Ryan Rosenow, audience favorite.
Yeah, actually, most comments in a podcast.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you win.
Ryan Rosenow. Nope. Ryan Rosenow discovered his love of art at a young age while neglecting his social life to obsess over art books from his favorite movies and video games. He studied fine art at the University of Cincinnati's School of Design, Architecture, Art, and Planning, also known as DAP, which has then led to a subsequent career in comic, video, and video game art, and paved the way to eventually art direct at Gylee Games. Welcome our wonderful art director, Ryan Rosenow.
It's great to be back. An unofficial returning guest.
I think you're the first returning guest on the show, right?
Did Glenn come back or no? Just one?
No, he was going to.
Okay.
Yeah, and it all got canceled and moved around.
I love the tee up. The intro feels like I'm a Jeopardy contestant or something. It's nice. I feel like I should be answering some trivia.
Some good Alex Trebek energy.
Yeah.
Right on.
Wow. That's a compliment.
It's a stash. I got to get the stash.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm stashy.
You kind of do. You'd have to get rid of the beard, and I don't think I could handle that.
And no, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's like, there's no chin. It's just like, you know? So Ryan, we're doing something different this episode.
Because you're special.
Because you're special, and you're back. We don't have any questions teed up or anything.
It's going fully off the rails.
So if people want to hear about what it's like to be an art director, go watch the last episode that Ryan was in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah. Aired sometime in April, I'd say. I don't know what the episode number is, but we can find it.
Has it been that long? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was like 3 weeks ago. I have no sense of time.
Same.
Yeah. Was it April? I don't think it was April.
I had to pull his bio from it.
Oh.
So that's how I know.
Okay.
Wow.
Anywho, we're gonna chat, bud.
I like it.
Yeah. What you been up to lately? Wait, no, that's shenanigans. We gotta keep it on.
Don't wanna...
We can ask him questions. Do you want to start with Ryan, your arm, maybe, and give us a little background? Because I know people have questions about that. I don't know if someone.
Yeah, people always ask me questions about your arm.
They're going through you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like thinking that it would be super inappropriate to ask you about it. Meanwhile, I make fun of it constantly.
Yeah, it's not something that I'm worried about talking about at all. Well, I'll caveat that. There are some people that annoy me with it. If it's like I'm walking across the street and somebody from the other sidewalk is like, "Hey, you."
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah, what's that? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. Like that.
Yeah.
Usually, if that's what I get, I'll just.
It's like invasive.
Yeah.
I'll just like ignore that.
And entitled a little. Do you want to give people a little show real quick?
Yeah. Is this my camera?
Yeah, that's your camera there.
Little robot arm. It's got this carbon fiber interface on the forearm, and then the hand on the end is robotic. There's a coupling here that has it's modular. You can take this piece off and put different attachments on there.
Including a knife that you stabbed yourself with.
I did have a little incident with my knife attachment.
He told us he's getting a new knife that, go on, you explain it.
Well, it's the same knife, but they're modifying it so that it's quicker to take on and off. Like the one that I have right now, I have to thread on and then use a wrench to tighten.
Oh,
and they're making one that's just a button release.
Got it.
So he's going to use it more.
That's pretty, oh boy. Just a reminder that you only have one working hand.
And you're an artist.
Please don't stab it.
I think I learned my lesson the first time.
Okay, so were you gonna go more into detail on the hand and what it is, what it does?
I mean, I feel like the prosthetic itself, there's not that much more to explain beyond that. It's pretty much what you see, just a robot hand. But if you were wanting to get into backstory and stuff, there's a lot that I could talk about there.
Yeah, I'd like to. I do. If I'm not mistaken, you're a model for the hand agency.
Yeah, you
a
are.
patient rep.
You're a model.
I think you're a model. You're on their website, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I mean,
model.
you can call it that. It sounds cooler.
Yeah.
But
That's your calling.
Yeah, I agree.
is modeling.
Yeah.
Arms.
For robot arms.
Just
for robot arms.
Just for robot arms.
Yeah,
nothing
big
else.
market there.
It's very niche.
How'd this happen?
So I was born without it. It was, I don't really know medically what happened. I know there were like a lot of complications during the pregnancy. And my birth itself was pretty rough. Like I came out with a strep infection, one hand, pneumonia. I spent the first 2 weeks in a NICU.
Welcome to the world, buddy.
Yeah, it was a nice little intro.
Yeah.
So I think like my mom at one point had like a really bad case of shingles and had like a severe fever. And that's like a theory that I heard from doctors growing up is like maybe that disrupted the development like during that phase. So from there, my parents immediately like jumped in, like trying to figure out like what's the best thing we can do to set him up for success. Do we try to get him fit with like a little prosthesis? Or one thing that was really popular at the time was this like kind of burgeoning field of reconstructive surgery.
Yeah. And this is all happening in Alabama, right?
Alabama, yeah. In 1989.
Yeah.
So late 80s Alabama. Not leading the world in medical technology.
No, not really.
But they were talking to people from all over the country, and they ended up doing a consultation with, surprisingly, in Louisville, Kentucky. That actually is where the leading like hand surgery team in the world was at the time. Not where I would think to find it, but they were like, one of the doctors there had been invited to do like the first hand transplant, and so like they were involved in all the cutting edge stuff. But the story that surgical team gave my parents was super like optimistic. They gave them this prognosis of like, if we start young before his growth plates start closing, and these conversations are happening like right after my birth. Like I'm just like a couple months old when they're consulting with them. If we start young, we can build him, it won't be as good as like a natural hand, but a pretty functional helper hand that'll be way better than any like prosthetic alternatives or whatever. And, but we got to jump in right now because it's going to take a lot of runway to do this, and the growth plates start closing, and we lose opportunities with every month that goes by. And in my parents' defense, I think that the sales pitch was like pretty compelling, and the prosthetic technology that was available at the time wasn't great. So they went with it. When I was 10 months old, they did the first surgery. They moved some bones from my right foot onto the end of my arm, kind of grafted them there to make little finger approximations. They weren't great. And then they kept up a pace of like one surgery roughly every 6 months from 10 months old to like 16. So it was like in the low 30s. And to just fast forward to the end of how that went.
And so you're recovering every 6 months.
Yeah.
From surgery.
There's, up to 3 months recovery time for some of these.
Yeah.
So, and then, I get 3 months of being okay, and then like back in for another, and some of them were milder than others. Like, there's some rough ones and some smaller scale ones, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
How did, before we get to how that affected your brain.
Oh yeah.
How did it affect growing up? Like,
I missed out on a lot of stuff, a lot of like outdoor activities. Like when you're recovering from a surgery and you got stitches, like you can't do any of the summer stuff. You can't swim, can't get them wet. A lot of just like sitting around inside on pain meds while other people did stuff that I wanted to be taking part in.
Were you drawing then? Was that like a...
Yeah, that's definitely when that all started. And it was like something to do.
Yeah.
I had a lot of time to dedicate to it. And it was also kind of therapeutic.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff I was drawing. And I honestly think that's where, I'm like a huge horror nerd.
Yeah.
I love horror and mad scientists and that stuff. And I think that's where a lot of that started, was like processing the imagery of like stuff that I was seeing and like.
You love body horror specifically. Yeah. Weirdo.
No.
It's fair. So a lot of the stuff that I drew as a kid was like, stitches and Frankenstein's monster kind of stuff. And I think it was kind of like this cathartic, like processing what was being done to me, which was very Frankenstein-like.
Yeah. How do you think it affected your brain?
In a lot of ways.
How does your therapist think it affected your brain?
Oh my God, this is not a therapy session.
There's a lot
Why
of...
not? Ryan said we could ask any question.
I said nothing's off the table.
All right.
And I'm going to live by that.
Except for those two things. And you know what those two things are.
I can't say them.
I know.
Everyone's going to be pretty curious.
I
know. There's a lot of like important development that happens when you're little that I think gets like disrupted if you're going through stuff like that. Before you develop cognitively, even though something like a surgery is being done to help you, you don't have any of the consciousness to understand that that's the motive behind it. So it's processed kind of the same way that abuse would be. So I think there's a little bit of a similar kind of trauma from those experiences, as not to compare my story to people who are like actually abused, but it's a similar thing that happens in the brain in both cases.
It's still trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that I think over the years I've gotten a lot better at understanding and knowing how to navigate and work around and kind of be healthy around. But it definitely caused some bumps along the way.
Can I ask like how that trauma has affected you? Like how does it manifest for you personally?
Anxiety is probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
Kind of catastrophizing. Like if something seems like it could go either way, I will always completely expect it to go the worst of the two ways. Mm-hmm. And some of that has to do with the outcome, like the fact that all those surgeries in the end didn't work.
Right.
And all of what they built had to be amputated. I think I was already dealing with anxiety along the way as I was going through each one. And it was just sort of like the hope that at least someday down the road, it'll lead to something good.
Yeah.
Seeing that it did the opposite was sort of like a confirmation of like my worst case scenario, like ideation.
Happening.
Yeah. It proved that the worst actually does happen.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of hard to like unlearn that and expect that like, no, sometimes things actually work. And
yeah. Can work out.
That didn't, whatever that was.
That happens all the time. I think it's a door opening or closing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like what if it all works out?
Yeah.
Hard thought to hold in your head sometimes.
It definitely is.
Yeah. I think a lot of people struggle with that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with it too. What question you got, Kim?
Oh, I don't know. This is on you. You decided.
This is on me?
Yeah, you decided to go rogue, and I'm letting you
You're
drive
the co-host. You can ask, Ryan, you can ask him questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I know Ryan.
Excuse me. So it gets amputated, right, when you're 16.
No, so actually there was a long period of time between when at 16, they called us in for consultation. There was no warning that this was going to be like a we're done conversation. Like as far as I knew, it was like, okay, let's plan the next one. We're still on this like treatment plan. But it turned out they were just like, hey, this really didn't go the way we expected and we're kind of out of options. And so I think we're kind of done here. So at 16, I was like, this is just what I have. And it was, by that point, they had moved an entire toe from my left foot to kind of sit like in opposition to the first two fingers that they had built out of the bones. And they had done some lengthening procedures with this crazy thing called an Alizaroff that like basically stretches the bone in your forearm. And so there was a lot of scarring and a lot of just kind of useless stuff they had put on there. And that was what I found out, like, this is just going to be what you have.
Yeah.
And I hated it. Like I wanted just to like go back to nothing. Like I'd rather just have an arm that cleanly stops at the wrist than this like crazy like science experiment, And I was really self-conscious about the way it looked, and I was like really regretful about the pain and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so from 16 until 23 is how long I was just like dealing with that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
23 is when I went off on my own, did some research, found the company that makes this hand, Oser.
Shout out Oser.
Great company. And they had a YouTube video that showed patients just like doing stuff around the house. And it was like, shit, that's the stuff that like they were always telling me I could do with what all those surgeries were about, but I can't. And it looks cool. And it seems like just an all around better option. So I started talking to people prosthetists that I was reaching out to around town about whether or not
That's a
that would be
fun word.
possible for me.
Prosthetist, yeah.
a lot of consonants. And one of the things that I was kind of running into was like a lot of them were saying like, because of like the shape of your arm after the surgeries they did, it'll be a little bit difficult to fit you for one of these because they're designed for like an amputated limb. Which in the end actually kind of worked out to my advantage because it became the medical justification I needed to get the stuff that they had done amputated, which you can't really find somebody to do that unless there's a solid medical justification.
Like, cut off my hand.
Yeah. But I wanted them to, like, even if I hadn't gotten the robotic hand, like I wanted that stuff gone. Like that was not something that I ever chose for myself.
Right.
And I didn't want. So it was great. Like I found a guy who wrote basically a prescription for the amputation. He worked with a surgeon in Indiana who had done this kind of thing for him before. I went out there in 2013. They amputated the arm. I got fitted for the eye limb, and I've been using it for over a decade now. And it's so much better than what I was working with before.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
The noise is the noise is really cool. I don't know. Like,
little,
try to get it.
It's just
Is that coming
little
through?
servos.
Yeah. We still haven't ever put that in the game. The plan was to put that in the game.
Oh,
Oh
really?
yeah, we were going to sample it and use it somewhere.
Yeah. That's right.
Time's not up.
Yeah, we still have a lot of sounds that we need to get.
Yeah, we really do.
Well, we got that new enemy. It could.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. What's it like working with Kim?
Oh, don't answer that.
You said I'm the
Gosh darn it.
the interviewer here.
I was pausing because I was trying to decide if I should be sincere or funny about it, but no, it's great. You're great to work with. Keep everybody on task. You guys have a lot of banter. That keeps the office interesting.
What?
She's always giving you shit. You're always reciprocating. It's nice.
It always starts that way, though.
Oh, that I give you shit?
Yeah.
No.
I would say often.
Oh,
I've seen the other way, but it's
I
the
get
standard.
provoked in Slack, and then I'll say something out loud.
Oh, so he's being sneaky about it.
Sneaky about
She's
it.
making this shit up. That is not what happens.
It's also a distinct possibility. I don't know what to believe.
It's fine. Whatever. How's it like working with Chris?
Oh boy.
The best.
Gosh,
Hey.
no. You have to be honest.
No, it's fun. You guys, honestly, like, I'm not even going to try to make a joke about it. You guys are both great to work with.
Yay. That was it. We weren't
You
fishing
said
for
yay.
I know.
that. Yeah. What? That was an honest yay?
Yeah. It was just low enthusiasm.
Oh. I apologize.
It's okay.
I don't want to scream into the mic right now.
That's all right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about where the game is now as opposed to a year ago?
I definitely, the last few playthroughs we did, I can see the actual like story arc in a way that I really like. I mean, obviously we're always kind of, as the people whose job it is to fix whatever's wrong, we're kind of fixating on the few things that we don't like about it. But being able to play start to finish, and even though like the cutscenes are still like very storyboardy looking and stuff like that in the current build, it's really cool to be able to see like an arc
Yeah.
to the whole thing. And that wasn't the case a year ago. And
Yeah.
that feels really good to see. I mean, I really am like super focused on like the last few things I want to like cram in here at the finish line, but I'm feeling good, very optimistic.
That's good. That's good to hear.
What is it's been a journey. What are some things you've learned from the journey about yourself?
I think the thing that stands out to me is like I've become a lot more willing to let go of ideas that for whatever reason maybe they're a little bit discordant with somebody else's idea that's more important, or there's just not time to implement them or whatever. Like I love the idea when it first pops into my head. At the beginning of the process, I would hold on to that until way past the time that I should have let it go and like try to like shoehorn it in and force it. Now I think I've gotten a lot better at recognizing like we should just let this one go.
Yeah.
You know, something else will come along that'll be cool, you know, as
better,
cool.
easier to do.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna feel the loss of that idea the way that I do.
Right.
Because to me, like letting go of something that I really want to do include, like I remember one of the things that for whatever reason, was such a big deal to me in the first year we were working on it, was figuring out how to have a consistent like terraforming technology in every level that the robots were doing, and like trying to figure out how to get that working. And when I realized that like the way the level design process was going, we just wouldn't be able to get that in feasibly into all of them. It just didn't make sense in all of them.
Right.
For a minute, I was really bummed out because I was like, oh, the whole world building consistency is going to fall apart.
I think there's a lot in there, though.
Yeah, I agree.
There definitely is. Like, there's enough that it makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what I had to step back and realize. Is like, oh, what's left? There's still this cohesive world building theme.
Right.
It's just like the few instances of it where we weren't able to fit it into a particular level because of this or that.
Yeah.
Like, they don't matter. Like, for me, that was a huge deal at first.
Yeah.
You get like too much tunnel vision sometimes.
Totally.
I think. And that was where I was more at the beginning than now.
Yeah, let go of your ideas.
Yeah.
Kim?
Not me. Actually, I prefer that. It makes my life for scope a lot easier. So don't Kim me.
Kim hates creatives.
I do not. It just, sometimes it billows, and then I'm like, can we scale back a little bit? Can we get this done in a smaller amount of time? That's all.
Kim hates creatives.
Oh my gosh.
You heard it here first.
Oh.
You heard it here first.
Thanks.
Well, I think not having questions written down is not the way to go.
Really bad idea.
This is not the way to go.
It's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
It does seem like we've kind of run out of track here.
I think it's also the fact that we know you so well. So like asking you questions that we already know the answer to off the top of our head it seems a little disingenuous, I guess, instead of like a format of questions that we're going to ask regardless.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
If that makes sense.
I would agree with that. Well, we tried it out. We tried something new. And we're going to...
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
You're just done?
I mean, we're at 20 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
I got the stopwatch. I'm checking where we are.
Okay.
We're going to... Thank you for sharing. I do want to say thank you for sharing your arm story, though, because that's like, difficult to share on screen, I bet.
At this point, it's gotten pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
And now you have something you can just like send a link to somebody next time they ask about it.
Oh, that's nice. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus will make a TikTok specifically just Ryan's arm story.
Yeah.
Warning, body horror. Cool. So we're going to take a break and we'll show you the trailer for Rara Boom. Please wishlist it on Steam. And we'll be right back with gaming news and shenanigans.
Shenanigans?
Yeah.
All right.
Be right back.
And then it went like 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if it's glass, yeah, you're gonna shatter it. Battle your battles, you gotta tell it how to the cure. You can bring it underwater. Won't you teach me how to do it? Yeah, I wanna take a swim, bring me with you one time. We can fly if you take me under your wing. But let me do my thing. And then it went like, hey, hey, hey. 5, 6, 7, 8. If it's trash, yeah, you're gonna take it out. Handle it rapidly, got the magic, you got it for sure. Make it nice, yeah, I'll bring the good vibes. Gotta win if you let me into the race. But I'ma do it my way. And then it went like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to Gylee and Friends.
You went,
You guys want to hear some gaming news?
Love to.
First bit of news. Also, I think I figured out how to properly credit the writers of gaming news because that was important to me.
Oh.
Sophie McAvoy, I hope I'm saying that correctly, from GameIndustry.biz writes,
Oh,
See?
you didn't tell me to do that.
Oh, well.
That's all right.
Yeah, do that. I had it in here. I assumed you would have read it. Anyway,
Nah.
doesn't matter. Sophie writes, Squad Busters reaches 24 million in first month of revenue. Supercell's latest game saw 40 million downloads during the same period. On launch day, Squad Busters generated an estimated 1.1 million and saw approximately 8.8 million downloads. In comparison, Brawl Stars made 43 million in revenue in its first month in 2018, which counts for 79% more than Squad Busters. Clash Royale generated 115 million during the first 30 days following its launch in 2016. So a couple takeaways for me. One, 24 million in your first month's revenue is not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty okay.
I'd settle for that.
Yeah. Two, it seems as though revenue from iPhone games is, I guess mobile games in general, is going down a bit. Okay, if you look at this data, you're at 24 million in first month for this one, 43 for the last one, 115 for the one before that, which I find interesting. Have either of you played any of the Supercell games?
No.
I don't think I've ever played a single mobile game in my life.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Maybe Doodle Jump back in the
Doodle
day.
Jump was
Doodle
great.
Jump.
I forgot about that.
I killed some time on that.
Yeah. Where's my water? Or is it like the something like that?
I don't know that.
The alligator in the water?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's my water?
I think that's what it was called.
That's what it is called.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't game on. I play Teamfight Tactics on my phone when I'm on an airplane, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Cool.
Do you have any theories for why it's going down?
Yeah.
I feel like saturation of the market has been pretty
I would agree with
substantial,
that.
right? Like a lot more options for players, so a lot more places for them to go and places to put money. I also feel like a lot of players are just burned out from like mobile game mechanics where they're trying to get you to do in-game purchases every 2 days.
Yeah.
Right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like as far as mobile gaming goes, in my opinion, there are just a few ones that I'll play and I'm not seeking anything new. Like the reason I do it is to kind of turn off my brain and it's more monotonous and I'm used to it. And I'm not going to go seek out a new game specifically on my mobile device to learn it because my brain's already knows how to turn itself off properly.
What mobile games do you play?
I don't want to say.
You're on a
Because
gaming podcast.
I always feel like I get made fun of.
Kim, I would never make fun of you.
I really like Candy Crush Soda Saga. It's my favorite.
Soda Saga?
Soda Saga. Yeah, because there's lots of different Candy Crushes. So I don't, there's different varieties for different people. But they go, when you win, they go, soda good. It's very rewarding. And then just like a lot of word games, I guess.
Wordle?
Not anymore, but I did used to play Wordle.
Okay. Right on.
No, gosh, what's the one? It's on Emiliano's desk, and we played it before, and Ryan hated it. We played it at Oddfellows, and
A board game too? Or
It's a card game.
Anomia?
What was it?
Anomia?
No,
Skippo?
it's like Skippo, but it's not Skippo. It's a card game. Gosh, this is going poorly. But the rules are like you have to have 4 of a kind.
Why don't you pull out your phone and look?
That would make more sense. You have to have like 4 of a kind or something. And then Ryan's like, there's too many rules. I can't keep track.
I remember this. Yeah, and I stand by it.
Ryan, you're not a big board game guy either.
No, he isn't.
I enjoy some board games, but there's a sharp cutoff to how long the instructions can take.
Yeah. I'll
Like
give you
if
that.
you're still telling me the rules like 5 minutes in, I'm like, let's
He
just
was
sit
so
here.
mad. It was phase 10 that I couldn't think of.
Phase 10. Yeah.
Ryan
yeah.
hates that game. It's one of my favorites. It's fun on a mobile device. And then I got Sudoku and other like just, easy mind numbing stuff.
How many hours do you think you put into Candy Crush?
Oh, geez.
Can you look?
I don't want to.
Is there a way to look?
I'd honestly would say no less than an hour a day.
For how long?
For at least a decade.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good streak.
Yeah. To a point
When
where
Good.
I've had this phone now for a long, I don't know how long, 7-8 years. And I had beat all the levels on my previous phone, but I don't have like a login account. I just kind of play. So every level that I gotten up to that point was wiped and I had to start over, and I had no problem doing that.
How many levels are you at now?
Oh, I mean, to check.
Yeah.
This will be quite embarrassing.
Should Kim's Candy Crush updates be its own recurring segment?
I think so.
I
yeah.
I don't like that.
Is that a question?
I just don't see that. Oh, here it is. I try to hide it. I just don't want the sound to play when I pull it up, even though it's very rewarding.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
It's preparing the lollipops. It's sugarcoating the candies. It's pretty great. I'm at 7,946
Levels.
levels. I'm on that level right now. So let's go. Yeah,
That's a lot of levels.
That's a lot of levels. That's a lot of Candy Crush.
I like it.
I don't think I'll be able to catch up.
You never know.
Starting tonight.
Okay, cool.
That's an addiction, Kim.
Is it?
We need to talk to you about it. That's why we're all gathered here.
It's so good at I'm very bad at turning off my brain, and it's one thing that will turn off all the noise for some reason.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, when you find the thing that does that, it's great.
Yeah.
You got to stick with it.
How much money have you spent on Candy Crush?
0. I've never ever done an upcharge or bought anything. Like I literally put it to a point where I don't have a login account. It's not associated with my name. It's not associated with any credit card or banking information. I've never spent a dime on it.
Is this like when there's a pro athlete on a podcast and the host asks them if they're using gear? Like, I feel like you can never admit that.
Yeah, that you spent
that
money.
I've spent $0 on it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still, in my opinion, I'm still a good
Don't you feel like you owe them some money by this
customer.
point?
No, because I watch their ads. I watch every one of those ads.
Oh God.
I watch so many ads. And if you've met all your rounds and you didn't complete that level, you can watch like 3 more ads to get more plays.
Do you actually watch the ads, or do you just set it down and do something?
because they're only they're 30, 45 seconds long. I will watch them.
I value my time more than that.
Yeah. So again, I don't feel like I'm stealing. I'm watching all their ads.
First of all, I didn't say you were stealing.
Okay. Well, you made me feel like it.
You put those words
And
in
I'm pretty
my
sure
mouth.
I downloaded Sudoku because it was an ad from there. So that worked.
They got you.
They got me.
They got you. Yeah.
So there.
So are you playing less Candy Crush nowadays than in 2016?
No.
Same amount?
Same amount.
Okay.
But I would say probably in 2016.
I was trying to bring it back to
I
the
know.
article, but it didn't work.
No. I'm telling you, I was probably more inclined to download other games. And now in 2024, I'm good with what I have.
Oh, you're
I'm
just
not
locked
searching.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, Discovery's a bitch too on Apple now
Yeah.
at this point as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, whoever launched earlier on the App Store did a good job.
They did.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. So that's Squad Busters. Everybody go download it. I have no idea what the game's about, honestly.
Yeah, me
I
either.
don't play Supercell. I don't think any of us play Supercell games, but I know they make a lot of money. A lot of money. $24 million a month.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Next bit of news. John Walker from Kotaku writes, a new, definitely not bad Street Fighter movie gets a release date.
I honestly do love the title of that.
Yeah, this guy's writing is really good, actually. I'm going to just read his writing because it's great. First of all, have you seen the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No. Is it good?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's awful.
So no, I'm not going to.
We should do a viewing party of it. Have you seen it, Marcus?
not
Steven,
listening.
you're too young, I bet.
The only Street Fighter movie I've seen is the anime.
Oh, that one's good.
I bet that one's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that as a teenager. Life-changing Chun-Li scene in there,
Oh.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I discovered who I was a little bit. Capcom and Legendary are making their third attempt at a live-action adaptation for 2026. This guy's writing is great. I'm going to send this to you, so John Walker. So I hope you appreciate my inflections, and I hope they're correct. We are certainly living through the era of the remake. When future archaeologists dig through our remains, they will be fascinated by the thick layer of Resident Evil remasters and Spider-Man movie franchises. But if there's one film that shouldn't repeatedly appear, that no one has a right to attempt to remake, it's not Godfather nor Citizen Kane. No, it's that masterpiece of the 20th century, Street Fighter. And yet, disgracefully, that's what's happening. And we now have a release date. I would like someone to explain to me how they believe they can improve upon Stephen E. D'Souza's 1994 epic with its cast of all-time Hollywood greats featuring martial artist Jean-Claude Van Damme and pop sensation Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue's in it?
Yep, Raul Julia's in it too. That was his last movie, I believe. He was M. Bison.
Oh.
Yeah. This was a film so great, its director knew it couldn't be topped, and so never even tried to make another cinematic release for the rest of his career. And yet, that's what production company Legendary, in cahoots with Capcom, told us they planned to do last year. Now, according to Variety, it intends to release its new Street Fighter movie on March 20th, 2026. So, first of all, I think Rolling Stone did a oral history of the Street Fighter movie. Because it was like absolute chaos.
Really?
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah, like everyone was on cocaine, like hefty amounts of cocaine.
You don't end up with a final product like that unless the BTS is like nonstop chaos.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a clear plot? Like, what am I missing here?
This is kind of the plot of Street Fighter, I guess. It's of Jean-Claude Van Damme's Guile. It's like the American Street Fighter fighter.
Yeah.
It's a world tournament that M. Bison creates. I think I'm getting this right?
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
Yeah. Chun-Li's a cop in it for some reason, which I didn't understand. Her and Cammy are both. Cammy's a cop, but yeah.
I feel like
Kylie Minogue's Cammy.
Kind of felt like a reskin Bloodsport in some ways. Like it had
Little-
that like Kumite kind of like
Very
energy.
much. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my entire life.
Not by Kylie, though. No way.
Her as well, I'm
Knocked
sure.
it out of the park. Don't worry, Kim.
Thank you.
Yeah. She was great.
Don't upset me.
Will you guys watch a new Street Fighter movie?
If a group gets together to do it, I would check it out. There's
Challenge accepted.
no other reason that I would do it.
Yeah.
Do I have to watch the OG one?
We should watch
See,
it.
that
at the
actually
office.
would be fun.
That,
Oh,
yeah, we
God,
should-
really?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll wait till you're done with Dry July and we'll watch it in the office.
Okay, thanks. Well, I can be fun not drinking, guys.
You actually can. What were we saying the other day on Monday? That she
we went on. We had a couple, and she was matching our energy.
yeah,
Like,
she matches
so-
energy and ramps up as needed.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anyway, yeah, let's watch it in the office. See how awesome it is.
Yeah.
Well, the movie it says March 2026. We have time for
Yeah, we
the
have
new
time.
one to come out.
Yeah. I would definitely go see a new one by myself. I mean, my kid's named after my Street Fighter main.
I forgot that.
I love Street Fighter so much.
He reminds me every day
What?
that how you
Why do
named
I-
Guy.
Well, why do I remind you every day?
You just bring it up.
What
It's
are you
not a bad
talking
thing.
about?
I'm literally talking about how it just casually comes up all the time. Mostly because people ask you, Gylee? And you're like, yeah. And then
Guy and Lee, my kids.
and then you'll get into how,
Oh, Guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. Done. Period.
Not every day.
Hmm.
Can we stop with the hyperbole?
Thank God you messed up a word this time.
I was like visualizing it before I was like saying it. I'm like, that's not right. Street Fighter movie. I'm very excited. I want to see a real Hadoken, not this little flash.
Oh yeah, that's true. That'd be cool to see how they do that.
And those are your gaming news.
Whoop.
Now, Kim, what is it time for?
It's time for Kim's pick.
We're loopy this episode, man.
I'm high on life. All right. Mistrial declared for Karen Reed, accused of killing her police officer boyfriend, and an investigator is relieved of duty.
Is it stereotypical that Kim's picks are typically murder mysteries?
I hope they do some type of documentary or something about this case because I find it fascinating, and I have only like really got to understand just the top crust of it right now. There's still, there's more to go now that they've declared the mistrial because the jurors didn't even know
buried
everything.
the lead. Can you
Sorry.
Can you tell us what this is about?
Yeah. First of all, Ryan, do you know anything? Because I know Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just read the first few paragraphs.
And
here.
to your point about like a movie or a documentary series,
Yes.
I'm sure somebody's like already working on the rights.
This one is, to me, this one caught my attention, and I just find it quite fascinating. So I'm reading from CNN.com, just in case anybody is curious where I'm getting the article from. A judge declared a mistrial in the murder trial of Karen Reed, the Massachusetts woman accused of drunkenly driving into her police officer boyfriend and leaving him to die in January 2022. In a case featuring accusations of a vast police cover-up and
Accusations.
thank you, and investigative misconduct. I haven't read the full article yet, so it's going to be fun. And the state trooper who helped lead the investigation, a man who admitted on the stand that he had sent sexist and offensive text messages about the defendant to friends, was relieved of his duty Monday, which was this 2 days ago, by the way, after the mistrial was declared. The Massachusetts State Police said. Period. This is going well. I'm only going to read one more. The mistrial was declared after the jury twice told the judge Monday that they could not reach a verdict after spending days deliberating Reed's fate. Jurors also said Friday that they could not reach an unanimous decision. One more, actually. This will help. Reed, 45, pled not guilty of charges of the second-degree murder, vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, and as well as leaving the scene of an accident resulting in the death connection to the 2022 death of John O'Keefe, who was her boyfriend and a Boston police officer.
So if I'm, before we get into this,
Yeah.
and cut this if you don't want it out or anything.
No,
if
go
I'm not
ahead.
mistaken, you do have dyslexia, right? Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have trouble like reading. Like in my brain, I can pace it and it's fine and it makes sense. But when I have to read out loud, I have trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
Sorry to make you
why I
do that.
stutter.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, I'm also a really bad speller for that reason. So, Ryan, how much do you know about this? Because I feel like you and I are very much into like true crime stuff.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of updates along the way. Like I remember hearing when that one cop that was like sending the problematic text. I remember when that detail came out in the trial.
So this is to summarize. Let me try to understand what's happening here. This lady kills her boyfriend.
Allegedly.
Oh, so she's saying she didn't do any of this.
Correct.
And she's being framed by the cops?
Yeah, because she's saying she's...
Also, this is why you don't date cops. Just putting that out there.
So her story is that she was at like a separate bar. She met up with him at a party. And then she had left early and gone to bed thinking like he was safe and still at the party. And then...
He drove home drunk?
No, he didn't get home.
Okay.
So she woke up looking for him and found him dead. And
in his house?
No, he was found dead outside in the snow.
That's why they were saying it was like a hit and run. Like they said that she hit him with her car and left him
backed up.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
As opposed to like maybe he just got hit?
I don't know what the theory is for what actually did happen.
So the police, some of the police that are covering it up, one of the guys is shown in a photo where like it's clear like his fist is injured like as a punch, and they had asked him what happened. And he's like, well, I slipped on the ice and I just braced my fist downward and that's what happened. there's
So
like
did his friends kill him?
we think it was. This is all allegedly, just so that way, since nobody has the facts yet, that some fight or something happened between police officers while the girlfriend was sleeping, and to cover it up, they decided to blame it on her.
And he died from a fist punch?
No, it does look like if I haven't seen the pictures, but what they describe, it looks like a car backed up and hit him. Yeah.
Which could be just a huge punch.
Yeah.
Like a truck-sized punch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some people
Maybe it was a transformer.
No one knows. They're in disguise. But they could have also tried to cover it up and moved a vehicle and hit him with it. And, there's a lot of unknowns in this particular, which is why it became a mistrial, because they're like, they
It ain't adding up.
Yeah, they could not come to a conclusion because there was too much against her, or like in her favor, I would say. And the prosecution didn't have enough credible evidence, I would say, because one of the, I can't remember which person it is, but somebody had like deleted a bunch of text messages, and they could clearly tell that it was deleted off of their phone. And they're like, I didn't do that. And then right before it, or right after it happened, within several hours, they had Google search like how to like cover up a dead body in snow. And they're like, I didn't. That's a fluke.
Yeah,
I didn't
remember
do
that.
that. Yeah. Just some really like, come on, people.
Yeah, but how do you?
I'm not Googling that.
You're not going to Google it?
Anyway, Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Well, that Google search evidence is why I do all of my shadiest Googling on Chris's computer.
Perfect.
On what? Where?
On Chris's computer.
That's a
The
good
world
idea.
doesn't want you to go after me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
not on your podcast.
Although if you see any weird Google searches, now you know why.
Oh, it's all Ryan's fault. I
Yeah,
know.
he
Now
just
you just
admitted.
gave him an out.
But my thoughts in general,
Yeah.
she didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think
No
she
way
did
she
it.
did it.
Yeah. And I think
That's it. That's my thoughts.
That's a good thought.
in my opinion, and I was saying this to you earlier, Chris, that this is a good case for police corruption, and I feel like they're going to utilize this
Abuse of power.
and I hope something comes from this, because it was a lot of fuckery. And
Where was this? Where did this happen?
Massachusetts? I can't say it.
One more time. Where was it?
Massachusetts.
Oh,
Did I do
there
it?
you go.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
nice. Good job.
Thanks.
What do you brush your teeth with? What's that called?
Toothpaste. Can you get? I'm sure that also has to do with my dyslexia. So if you could stop. Do you have any thoughts about this, Chris?
Blame it on dyslexia all the time. Jeez.
That's what the cops would do.
That's what the cops would do. ACAB is my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a stance.
Yep. All cops are bad. Yep. Too much
Okay.
corruption all around, unchecked. Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
That's my stand. So like I don't know who's right or wrong in that instance, but I'm not for the cops.
That's fair. I wholeheartedly there was a cover up, and I didn't read the whole article, but just to know the way that the title read is because that what the jurors didn't know is now they're going after some of the police officers that clearly try to cover this up.
Yeah.
So this isn't over,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which I find fascinating too.
Keep us updated.
Will do.
Yeah. We can have
Massachusetts is such a perfect place for that case too.
Yeah.
Like that's like where if this were like a Scorsese movie or something.
I
That's
mean,
like
this is
where
Right,
100%
yeah.
going to be a Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no way it's not. It's
I
too
would totally
prime
watch
just
for that.
just
Yeah.
some mean old Irish police chief.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and I think Karen Reed is like 45. Like they're all full adults, not kids. No, you know what I mean? Like they all. What do you mean?
What's your point?
Maybe they were messing around and they accidentally hurt their friend, and then they got scared and tried to cover it up. That's
Oh.
not what this is.
I see.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it wasn't an
It
accident.
wasn't an accident.
Yeah. Wild.
Wild.
Also, if you're trying to cover something up, why blame the girlfriend? Like,
Oh.
I don't, like, why blame, like, you could
That's
just,
because everybody was related in some way. Everybody at that party, everybody she was with, they were all like his friends. They were somehow connected to him and his buddies, and they were all police officers, and she was the only odd person out.
that was at the party? She wasn't at the party. I thought she was home.
She had gone to the party and then gone home. But I just mean in the group of people and
Yeah.
all these people, like she had gone to the bar with one of the guys before and then met
Yeah.
up with her boyfriend. Like every person involved in this, every person that was interviewed, every person that's helping cover this up is somehow part of the police department or family friend of the police department.
Also, there was some precedent for like them not having like been doing well, right? Like, isn't that part of the evidence? Like in the prosecution against her,
They brought that up too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
I think
so, like, the
it was
friend
probably just like a
probably-
convenient thing. Like the significant other is always a likely suspect, and then there was
Oh,
like maybe
word.
some rocky stuff between them. And
All right.
yeah,
Still seems like tough sledding to
Yeah.
pin a murder on somebody else
Yeah.
as opposed to just
Admitting or
say it was an accident.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I feel like we're gonna know though. I'm not gonna let this one go.
just a random transformer accident. Optimus crime.
That was good.
Is that off the dome?
So
Damn.
good. Optimus.
Are we doing open mic night tonight?
Yes.
So good.
That was so good.
I gotta recover. Kim, speaking of open mic night, Kim,
Yeah.
you know what happens if you let them shenan?
They shenanigan.
Welcome to Shenanigans. There, see, we just gotta
We
do
got
that.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was good. Yeah. What have you been up to? Wait,
Oh, wait.
you or Ryan? Which I do
Ryan,
first?
please.
Ryan.
Well,
So
first,
shenanigans. Tell us about your shenanigans. What have you been up to? What's been going on in your life? What adventures have you been on?
well, I got a move coming up.
Yeah,
That's
moving
exciting.
closer to us, baby.
Yeah, we're excited.
At the end of the month.
Yep.
So I've been working on some preliminary like storage movement. You know, like I've got some stuff in basements here and there. My ex's dad had like all of my woodshop tools in his basement.
Mhm.
For obvious reasons, I had to get them out of there.
Mhm.
So this past weekend, I was moving all of those down to the basement in the new place.
How'd
I'm
that
moving
go?
into. It was not great. Not
We're laughing
great.
because we know how
Yeah.
not great it was.
Do you want to fill us in on why?
Oh, well, before any of the stuff that went wrong, they're just heavy tools to begin
Yeah.
with. Like a bandsaw, a radial arm saw, router table, like a whole wood
Weird
shop worth of
flex to
stuff.
have all that stuff.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
He's a handy guy.
Are you allowed? Kim,
I didn't never mind.
That's good.
he's a hand guy. He can't be handy. He only has one.
What's it? I'm not going to get into the origin of a handyman. I'm going to leave this alone.
I'm gonna have to take a second to find the thread.
You were flexing on all the tools. you
Yeah,
had.
heavy. Yeah, just all my tools. No big deal.
Yeah.
And we had to move them up out of a basement into a van, back down into another basement.
Oh wow. Okay.
Before we could get down to the second basement, there are like steps up to the front door. So just nonstop steps. And we picked a day that it was raining. And the heaviest rain, of course, happened like as we were carrying the tools from the van to the steps. Tools are getting wet, everything's slipping. And a coworker and good friend of all of ours was kindly volunteering to help me.
I like
Are
how
we
you're
not gonna
not
put his name
outing
on
your
blast?
name.
It was Emiliano.
Yeah, watch the Emiliano episode. And
He's-
this
He's
will
our
all make
animator.
sense.
He's great,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate the help. We did, however, have some miscommunications about how to navigate the steps on the way up. And while we were moving the bandsaw, the heaviest of all the tools, I was on the top, he was on the bottom, and the lift over the step didn't quite happen right. So the feet got kind of braced against the stair, and it tipped, and I ended up on my butt, and the whole bandsaw crashed down on my clavicle.
Oof.
And I was pretty convinced it was fractured for a minute.
Important to note that you said it over 100 pounds is what it weighs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big tool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great. And that was about halfway through the whole process. We still had to get all the way down the basement steps
Oh,
with that one,
man.
and then a few more after that. And Yeah, thankfully I ran into a friend of mine later that night who was an ER nurse, and he just happened to have some lidocaine patches in his car, so he hooked me up.
That's
So,
nice.
yeah.
How's it healing?
It's good. It doesn't even. There's not even like any discoloration now. I feel if I run my fingers along the collarbone, there's like a kind of a knob, definitely a bump there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's not serious, and it still hurts, but I think it's good. I'm on track.
You hurt yourself a lot.
It's a little too often. I'd like to.
I don't blame you for this though.
I don't either, but I
Yeah.
do blame you for picking the people that help you move heavy material.
He was a great help.
Yeah.
Truly. We had a little accident.
It's fair.
Any other shenanigans?
Honestly, my whole thing has just been focusing on this move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got right now.
Yeah. We're excited. When are you out?
I should be done moving everything out by like July 25th.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So next month you're kicking it right down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got
Very
a big
cool.
trip coming up too, so he won't have time to.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's
gone.
right.
I'm gone for like 10 days in the middle of the month. So
Yeah. Cool. Kim,
Cool, Chris.
what shenanigans have you been up to
I
lately?
feel like every time I talk about my shenanigans, it's non-shenanigan related.
Oh, because you're boring?
Oh, ow!
It was a question.
It sounded like a statement.
Did that sound like a statement?
I heard a little question mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm boring. Thank you. No, I was going to talk about my dry January because no one
It's
really
July.
does. Oh yeah, July. Because everyone does it in January and not July. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
My dry July.
Sounds better too.
Dry
Yeah.
July.
Dry
Yeah.
July. Yeah.
Makes sense, I guess.
It's a hard time to be dry though, like with
Yeah.
with 4th of July and your birthday
Yeah.
and
So that said, today is
the summer.
my husband's birthday, and then we have the 4th of July between our birthday, and then Friday is my birthday. So we kind of usually lump them all together.
Are you guys doing that together?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just pretending it's not his birthday today. No, it's his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Although we're not supposed to say his name. Maybe take that
Wait.
out, please.
Just
Um,
bleep it.
It's going to look so
It's gonna
weird.
sound like we're talking shit. Yeah. We got
but,
to snort.
what?
We got to snort.
You gotta snort. On my birthday, we're gonna celebrate everything, and we're gonna go ham, and we're gonna drink that one day in July to celebrate,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna get back on that wagon, just for the month of July, because I've been drinking too much. I think he wants to do a restart. He's been going to the gym every day, and we're just trying to be healthier and more conscious about
Yeah.
what we put in our bodies.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
It's admirable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It honestly is a lot easier than I thought. I really don't like drinking.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like drinking, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Not a good reason to.
I know.
Not liking something isn't a good reason to do it.
I know. I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I think I just do it because it's like a social norm thing.
Was
Yeah.
there any like the first like couple of days were they tough or like just
I thought they
easy
would
right out of the
be-
gate?
No problem.
Huh.
Really, no problem at all. There is like an act of picking up a drink and drinking it, but like
Yeah.
water's great.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Soda water works really good.
Yeah.
I'll do that when I'm
Yeah.
doing dry July.
You gotta have some carbonation.
Yeah. Soda
Huh.
water with bitters is really great. I don't know if that counts because like there is like a little bit of alcohol in bitters, but it's like just a splash.
I didn't know that.
Well, because we've had this conversation too. I think you just have to be conscious of how many of you have because any kid could go to the grocery store and buy bitters. They're not gonna,
Yeah.
it's like cough syrup almost.
Although that would look pretty weird.
That would look
I'd
weird.
be suspicious as
Yeah.
a cashier.
What if he's got like a pencil mustache and a leather apron?
I'd let it slide.
Okay. I would too.
Yeah, yeah.
Rides home on a penny farthing.
Chris,
Kim.
have you gotten up to any shenanigans lately?
A few.
Yeah.
One is I'm currently raising funding for our next game.
That's exciting.
Been doing the pitch circuit a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy, man. I enjoy telling the story of our game, and I really like how that story evolves, even like over time as I do more pitches. Like it's very much about like reps. Like I want to get as many as I can because you'll edit it'll become more succinct. You learn a lot about the game by doing it. You know what I mean? Because you're getting like quick feedback. I'm like running into the mic a lot today.
Yeah.
You're getting quick feedback on what is clicking with people, what's not clicking with people, you know, how to tell the story of what you're making in a clear manner.
Do you adjust your pitch deck to that at all, or are you just kind of take in the notes?
I mean, the pitch deck's pretty like there's not a ton in it. Like there's not a ton to adjust really from that standpoint because and I just talk to it. It's not like I have like a pitch memorized or anything.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But like even like, you know, now you ask me what's Rah Rah Boom. Rah Rah Boom's a 4-player co-op beat 'em up about ninja cheerleaders from outer space. Right? Like but that got baked over many, many pitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like getting to a place where I can tell someone what the game is in you know 5 words or so. That process is really fun and it takes a lot of work. And going through that part of the process again of getting to what you know, what are the 5 words for this game's kind of tricky and because it's a bit more complicated. And I enjoy that iteration though. It's satisfying.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that and then Ryan has
That
been
guy over there?
Yeah, has been helping me a lot with emotional support as I go through personal stuff and being a really good friend. And so I ended up dragging him to see DJ Boywife this weekend.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It was great.
Yeah. Different crowd than
unexpected. Yeah, people that I do not ever run into.
Yeah, so it's a queer community DJ, right? I would say, and
to be clear, that wasn't the aspect of the crowd that was unusual to me. It was the
really?
more like the electronic.
Oh, word.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to give the impression that I'm like never hang out with.
No.
No.
No,
Of course
way.
not. Of course
you
not.
and I left LA going, we want to live in WeHo. Like,
Yeah.
this is our favorite place.
During Pride, right?
Yeah,
Like,
during Pride. Yeah.
During Pride. Yeah, but you like my impression to you, and I think what you project is like you hang out in skeezy punk rock bars most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So seeing bright, colorful clothing everywhere and optimistic
Just
people.
optimistic faces. Yeah, people smiling. It's like, what is this? The sun's down and you're still smiling? Like,
yeah, it was a good time. I want to take you to like a proper show, like a big one, because I think you would dig it.
Yeah, that could be fun. For
Like
sure.
Excision or something, dude. Lots of lasers and shit. Yeah.
I like lasers.
Yeah, lasers would be dope. You would have fun. But yeah, those are my shenanigans. Going to Kings Island tomorrow.
That's exciting for
Yeah.
the 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they do anything special?
Yeah. They have like a big fireworks show and everything.
Don't they do
Everybody
that
does
every night? I'm not like
They do
discounting.
fireworks every night, but it's like a bigger.
Oh,
like
okay.
They go ham, as you said.
I
Do you know what ham means, Kim? What does it stand for?
don't know the origin of it. No, I just say
It's
it.
an acronym?
Neither of you know what the fuck ham means?
No,
No.
Are you serious? You just say ham, thinking you're talking about the meat?
no, I don't know what I'm saying. Well, no, that's not.
Listen.
Sounds right.
Listen,
I understand in context what it means, but I don't understand what it stands
ham
for.
is an exciting entree. I thought that's
Yeah.
what we were
Yeah.
referring
Are you
to.
guys? Neither of you know what this stands
I did
for?
honestly just picture someone like having like eating a pig roast really fast in my brain.
100% the same. I was just picturing like ladling
Going
ham
ham.
gravy on a big
Yeah,
pile.
yeah.
Would you like to know, or should we leave it a question?
No, I want to know.
I do want to know. I want to.
It stands for hard as a motherfucker.
Oh,
That's what going ham means, huh?
Go ham. Go hard as a motherfucker.
I'm gonna miss my old impression.
Yeah,
of
me
that.
too. I had like a picture in my head.
That's funny.
How did we get on that topic, man? Oh, Kings Island. Yeah, Kings Island.
You're
Anyway,
going ham.
going ham at Kings Island. Nice little amusement park here in Cincinnati, Ohio. You know, trying to decide if I want to spoil something.
No, don't.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So now let's do recommendations.
Oh, okay.
Which is where we recommend to our vast audience what different forms of electronic media or otherwise that we're enjoying that we would recommend to people.
Yeah, sometimes it's not electronics and you get mad at me.
I don't get mad at you. Ryan, let's kick it off, buddy. As our esteemed guest, what are some recommendations that you have for...
I'm late on this one. It's not like a new thing. It came out in 2020, but I just discovered it, so it's new to me. It's a movie called Possessor. It's a Brandon Cronenberg,
Ooh.
science fiction.
that is body horror,
A
right?
little bit. It's a little softer on the body horror than I would expect.
Okay, soft body horror.
Yeah, soft bodies. The horror is the softness of the bodies.
That's the Midwest. Sorry.
Ohio is soft body horror.
Oh my god.
That's cool.
Podcast is going long.
Oh.
It's a cool premise. It's like a near future thing where there are these like crime organizations that if they want to commit like a high profile murder, they can find a host who's near the victim and basically like technologically possess them. So like somebody on staff is controlling their consciousness and has to like blend into their life for whatever
that's
period of
cool.
time the crime takes. And the story of the movie follows this like struggle between one of the hosts and his possessor, like fighting back and forth to get
wow.
like control of his mind again. It's good. I'm so surprised that Brandon Cronenberg is actually like such a good director, like a second generation following in the footsteps of like such an iconic director.
Yeah.
It seems like it happens so rarely, but he's nailing it. Like
Yeah. Same visual style though.
really similar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, he's got all the tools, I guess.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's awesome. What's the name of it?
Possessor.
Where can people find it?
Max, I think.
What? Oh,
Max?
Max.
Max.
Cinemax.
No,
I think it's
HBO Max is what you're saying, right?
I think it was Max. It might be Prime. It's.
Did
No one
HBO
says
buy
Cinemax.
Cinemax?
No,
and
no one
then
says
that's how they got to
I don't.
HBO Max.
I don't think they're related. I think Max was just the little tag they put on it to denote it from their actual like channel.
Yeah, and then
And then they
now
just thought that was
Max.com.
catchy or somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Weird. All right.
It wasn't a good move.
You don't think so? Well,
No.
HBO is so iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
Home box
still thinks
office?
of like HBO as being the brand.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to just lean away from that. I don't get it.
Dope HBO Kiss hoodie that I love. That's great
Nice.
too.
Yeah, it is dope. I can't find it on Max, by the way.
I'm wrong.
But you're fine. It's on Prime.
Prime.
Yeah,
It's Prime Video.
Thank you.
There we go. Thank you, Marcus.
and Tubi for free.
Oh boy, we're not doing Tubi.
Okay, just saying.
What are all the weird streaming things you watch?
Oh, if you have a Roku device, Roku has their own channel. Is that what like you're asking?
Yeah.
The weird things I do.
Yeah.
I have a lot.
I know, that's why I asked.
Oh, you want just off the?
You are like the
cuff.
cheapest person I know.
You can type in any show or any movie into Google and put the name of it, and then type the word watch after it, and it tells you everywhere it streams. And if you if you pay for one of those platforms, you know you can go there for free.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
But what are the platforms that you watch stuff on?
Peacock, which I think is Paramount and Peacock are the
NBC.
same. NBC. Okay. So Paramount plus what is the Peacock NBC one?
NBC.
No,
It's called
there's
Peacock. Peacock.
is it just called Peacock?
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, Peacock. Because NBC has their own separate channel. Vudu, which is now Fandango, Prime Now, HBO Max, Showtime,
Damn.
Hulu, and Netflix.
So most of those are normal.
I think this is and then Roku TV sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't actually watch stuff on YouTube, which I find a lot of people do.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Not
you,
like movies and
Marcus?
stuff.
You do a lot of yours on. Okay.
Yeah. I watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Not
fair.
ours, but a lot of podcasts. Kim.
Yeah.
What recommendations do you have for our vast audience?
Oh, I forgot this one. Apple TV. So there's a new show that I'm watching on Apple TV.
You're pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
That's like all of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to cover it, especially when my kids come over, so they just have something to watch.
Sure. No Disney Plus though, huh?
We have Disney Plus. I share it with my family, but I don't watch it honestly. But I do have a subscription to Disney Plus. Yeah, I feel like if you name it, I probably have it.
I didn't know you got paid that
AMC.
much.
AMC. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I have that one. Anyway.
Apple TV.
Presumed Innocent. Have you heard about this one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
I'm like 6 episodes in, I think.
TV show?
TV show. I'll give you a brief synopsis. I can talk. From the #1 New York Times bestselling author and hailed as the most suspenseful and compelling novel in decades, the story brings to life the worst nightmare, that of an ordinary citizen facing conviction for the most terrible of all crimes.
So it's the lady that we were talking about
Kind
earlier.
of, but it's Jake Gyllenhaal's on trial.
He plays her.
Yeah.
Donnie Darko plays her.
Yeah. It's good. It's basically he's a prosecutor, and one of the victim happens to be somebody that he used to work with, and then they find out that they were having an affair, and so then he becomes prosecuted for the crime that he was trying to figure out who killed her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good?
Very, very good. Because there's just like a lot of manipulation, twists and turns. It's written very well.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah. Just want to say that I finally jumped back into the Fallout TV show.
Thank God.
Yeah, I took a break from it, but it's
so good.
Yeah,
I
I'm
cannot
almost
wait
finished.
to hear what you think about the ending.
Yeah, I'm close.
Okay.
Very, very good.
How many episodes
Very,
in?
very good. I think I have one left.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last one's really good.
Yeah. Have you watched it yet?
I haven't yet. It's on my list.
It's you'll dig it for sure. So that, but we've talked about that before. The other is I'm playing this game that's not new. Came out in April 2022, but it's called King Arthur, not King Arthur Knight's Tale. Just starting to dive into this. It is a unique hybrid between turn-based tactical and traditional character-centric RPGs. Knight's Tale is a modern retelling of a classic Arthurian mythology story filtered through the dark fantasy tropes, a twist of the traditional tales of chivalry. Why are you laughing?
You said it weird. Go on.
That's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Okay, my bad.
What did I say weird?
You put a little like chivalry.
Thank you.
All right. This is going well. It's made by Neocore Games. Neocore is a Hungarian video game developer that focuses on creating and publishing role-playing video games. The company has their own development studio that's headquartered in Budapest, and their video games developed at Neocore are created using the custom-built game engine that they've made named Cortec. That is the part that's like, whoa, damn.
Yeah, that is cool.
Y'all are making your own custom engines out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive, but it's good. It's interesting. It's so it's like XCOM or whatever tactical turn-based game, but then is like King Arthur. So dungeon crawly kind of turn-based tactical game. I'm enjoying it so far.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah, a lot of progression in there as well.
Wasn't there a King Arthur movie that I can't remember the name of it?
Well, A Knight's Tale is
Guy Ritchie made a King Arthur movie a few years back.
No kidding.
Yeah, there's like a really good one. I can't remember.
That would probably be it.
I didn't see it, but I remember hearing about it.
There's a new Guy Ritchie show on Netflix or something that's really good too.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that.
Yeah. Are you pulling it up or are we done?
I give up.
Okay.
Because there's one that came up, but it wasn't a good one.
All right. Well, those are your recommendations from myself and my esteemed colleagues. With that, Ryan, where can people find you online? Anything you'd like to plug, promote, anything like that?
Literally, my entire online presence is gone right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
So don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you're like the Hawk 2 girl.
I was going to say that.
For the same reasons.
You got TikTok famous? Yeah. So nowhere to find you.
I'm a ghost.
Yep. All right. Kim, where can people follow you online?
I would like to point out that Hawk 2 Girl did not go like complete silent on social because of that. She came out and said, "Oh, I deleted my account 6 months before that. I just for personal reasons." So we're not saying misinformation.
Sure.
Please don't follow me. Thank you.
Please follow at Gylee Games on all socials, TikTok, Insta, Twitter, other ones, BBSs. And feel free to follow me at Bergs Makes Games, BERGS on Insta, or at Chris Bergman on Twitter. But like I haven't touched that in feels like a long time. So make sure to wishlist Rah Boom on Steam, and please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Tell a friend about this podcast if you dig it, if we're even somewhat entertaining. Please comment. Let us know if we're entertaining or annoying. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you.
Bye.